I have always loved hearing the stories of people who come back from Malawi on these trips, and it's always been with a little bit of, oh, I want to do that someday. And when the time finally came, when the opportunity came for me to be able to go, it just came at the perfect time.
I'm a physician by training, but relatively newly retired. So I have been looking for an opportunity for a mission trip, and Africa was perfect, so of course I said yes.
We were really able to do so much. It was amazing how organized the trip was. I mean, every day we divided into groups and got on vans and buses and were shuttled to these remote villages where we were able to see firsthand the work that these ministries are doing there. And I think the neatest thing was we were paired up with people doing the work on the ground, the leaders of these ministries who are from Malawi, and they could give us that backstory each day on the bus and on the van about, you know, what the struggles were that these people faced each day.
We visited some villages where the Y-Malawi organization had been working for a number of years with their local partners, and we saw evidence that it had really taken hold in terms of nutrition education, so people were using a much more varied diet, particularly for their children. We saw evidence of improvement in agricultural practices, such as teaching the local villagers how to make fertilizer using locally available materials, which should improve their crop yields. And one of the most interesting things we saw was a savings and loan club that was set up with the help of one of Y-Malawi's partners. And the women in the village put in about 85 cents a week in savings, and when they want to, they can get a loan from the Savings and Loan Club. One woman had used money to buy an ox, which she hires out to transport things. Another woman had actually started a small business, and it was so successful that her husband quit his job and is supporting her small business in the little village there.
It was so neat to be able to see them share with us how they were learning to spell out their name and sound out the different letters of the alphabet. So we sat around on these mats in front of a chalkboard, and they would call up one at a time the different adults to share what they had learned, to write out their name on the chalkboard, sound out the letters, and then everyone would cheer and clap for them. And then they shared their testimonies of how much this has meant to them to be able to sign paperwork, you know, official paperwork, without having to ask somebody else to sign for them. It's just such an empowering thing to see these people be able to do something for the first time that's going to change their life. The people of Malawi are so beautiful, and they are so filled with joy. One of the things that really struck me about them is for the people that we were with, their joy is Jesus himself. Their joy is in Jesus with them each and every day. Everywhere we went, we were greeted with song and dance. They are joyful people. They love to sing, they love to dance, they love to praise the Lord, and that was just amazing.
I would say the part of the trip that made the most impact on me was just getting to know the Malawian people and the warmth that they showed, but also their receptiveness to the various programs. And there are a number of different programs. It's not just evangelism, but nutrition education, health education, agricultural education, really things that are tied very much to their needs, and they were very responsive to that.
What surprised me most about the experience was how much I cried. I did not realize how moved I would be seeing these people do what they do. One day we were able to go with these people from one small village to another small village so that they could show us how they had built a latrine for a poor widow in the neighboring village who had no privacy to relieve herself or to bathe herself, and they built her a little hut with a latrine and even a way to wash her hands without having to touch anything, and she demonstrated it for us, and she was just overjoyed. And I thought, wow, we do not take care of our widows the way the poorest of the poor are caring for theirs.
If somebody's contemplating a mission trip to Malawi, I would say you should be prepared to have your life changed by the experience. I know that often happens on short-term mission trips. Smith was also positive that it gave me just a very good feeling about it, and basically I can't wait to return.
So this is what I would have to say to anyone who is feeling a little bit of a nudge to go to Africa, or maybe you just have been praying about it and you're waiting for the opportune time. You know, there's probably not ever going to be the perfect time to go, so just go. Just do it. You won't regret it. You will come back changed and with a whole new perspective on what God's calling you to do in your life. So I encourage anyone who's considering it, just take the plunge and go.